Welcome to this episode of Asking for a Friend. And I have to say, I'm really excited about this because it is something that I've personally done and have a lot of information on. So, the topic this week is what the heck is house hacking? House hacking is actually one of the best strategies for building wealth, in my humble opinion. It is something that my husband and I have done in order to purchase our first home. And I think, especially with the way that the economy is right now, it's one of the best ways to buy your first property. So, what is house hacking? As a principle, house hacking is basically renting out a portion of your home. So, let's picture that you have a single family home. There are a couple ways that you can do this with a single family home. The first way, and likely one of the easiest ways to get started with caveats, is renting out a house room by room. Okay, so let's say, for example, you buy a home and it is a 2-bed, 1-bath, simple starter home. You live in one of the rooms and you rent out another room to a friend or someone else, okay? So instead of you paying your entire mortgage, you are only paying a portion of the mortgage and your roommate is paying the other portion of the mortgage. So essentially it's like renting, except you're the landlord, right? And someone is paying your mortgage. And that is the intrinsic benefit of house hacking, is that you are not paying your entire mortgage. Someone is paying a portion of your mortgage, which helps you build wealth faster. It also helps you build equity faster, which in turn helps you build wealth, right? So thinking of this term equity, when you think of a mortgage that you take out, you're purchasing a home, right? You're not paying for it all in cash. And if you are, hats off to you. But if you're not, likely most individuals are getting a mortgage to pay for the bulk of their home, and they're paying that mortgage instead of paying rent. So you have this mortgage, let's say it's $3,000 a month, just to keep numbers simple. You charge your roommate $1,500 a month, you pay $1,500 a month. It's split down the middle. You are owning an asset as a home, paying $1,500 a month, while you have a tenant, friend, or renter paying the other portion of your mortgage. Obviously, those numbers are just a simple breakdown. We can get into more specifics, but I want to keep it simple for you. Well, that's number one. Number two, you have a single family home and you have kind of a split level situation. So there is an entrance to the basement, in which case you can rent out a whole unit. So maybe there's a bedroom and a bathroom down there and you live up above. So you still have a single family home, but it acts like a duplex, and where you can rent out the basement, and you have multiple strategies now. You can get a long-term tenant down there. You can do midterm. What is midterm renting? Midterm is basically where you furnish the unit and you get someone in there for 29 days or longer. Okay, so it could be a 3-month stint, it could be a 6-month stint, but it is furnished. Then we have your tried and true short-term rental, okay? There are restrictions in a lot of areas, so you have to be careful of where you're doing short-term rental and think about your long-term play with that, but it is a really lucrative strategy to have, let's say, like an Airbnb in your basement and you live up above. That's another style of house hacking. Taking it away from this single family, moving into multifamily. So what is a multifamily? You have multiple addresses under one roof. So I'm going to give you my personal example. My husband and I own a quadplex. There are 4 units. That is what the quad stands for. There are 2 units on the top and 2 units on the bottom. We live in 1 unit on the top and we rent out the other 3. Okay, this is an asset that is worth over $1 million, that if my husband and I were paying for that mortgage on our own, be tight, right? We probably wouldn't be able to do it. But because we have renters paying that mortgage, we are building more equity and wealth with other people's money, okay? That's the benefit of house hacking. So when it comes to buying your first property or buying any property, I highly recommend looking into the house hacking strategy for multiple reasons. But the biggest one is that it cuts down your expenses on a monthly basis while increasing your overall wealth in the long run. So if you want more information on house hacking, stay tuned. I have an exciting little webinar coming down the pipeline and course that unpacks everything from soup to nuts on what you need to know for house hacking. And if you are interested in more information on house hacking, go ahead and leave a comment in the messages, house hacking or hack or whatever you want. and I'll be able to provide a little bit more knowledge and information there. But overall, house hacking is truly, 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 in my humble opinion, the best way to get your foot in the door with real estate. So a couple things that you want to be thinking about is connecting yourself with a good realtor that understands the market. Once again, I am a good realtor that understands the market here in Colorado, and I also have connections with realtors in all 50 states. So if that's something that you're exploring and you're not in Colorado, feel free to still reach out. We can book a strategy call and get started to see if house hacking is something that might be on the future horizon for you and something that could help start your wealth building journey. So house hacking, I am definitely a poster child of it. It has been a phenomenal tool that we've used to build wealth, and I highly recommend it as a strategy for anyone getting started. If you want more information on it, if you know someone that's interested, share this video with them, tag a friend, and I'll catch you next time on Asking for a Friend.